any coverage of the fight, and I didn't even see most of the fight, but I saw enough to know a rig when I'm looking at one, which all the Jake Paul fights have been rigged. Same with the Mike Tyson Roy Jones fight. So this should be a surprise to no one. I see some people are upset about it, and life in general is rigged, man. Not to doom or incel this stream. That's not really the point. I just want to stream. I haven't been streaming. Been working on music. Working on music has been kind of fun. That's trying to sleep. Trying. So I haven't been as active as I wanted to. I did want to do some content towards this. But oh well. Oh well. Hey, Essential Dildo. How you doing? I checked out some of that Freddie Gibbs. You know what though? As far as that Tyler, I don't dislike Tyler's music. I don't really have interest. The hype is almost scaring me off of that album. And then the weird little promotion. I'm like, this. I don't think this is that good. And honestly, that's how I feel about a lot of stuff. And I don't think I'm the only one. Whether it's music, wrestling, sports. I mean, that fucking Lions game was crazy, but a lot of shit just feels mid. I don't know if it's just me or are these things mid. I see a lot of people complaining about the NBA right now. So I feel like I'm okay. I'm not the only one. I like West Side Guns music, and I didn't see the whole thing. I didn't see Taylor Serrano was better than first fight, which is nuts. Evil and gross as he thought it would be. Yeah, from what I've seen, Tyson looked pretty old, and I think it was probably also a little rigged. But I mean, I don't know if Tyson could have gave you any more. It's okay with a banger here and there. Talk about Tyler, which I'm not knocking him. I'm not knocking him. I mean, artists like him make it easier for me. I'm very much committed to dropping now 2 projects very close to each other of different genres. One, the synthwave project I've been working on all year, and then a hip hop project. So that, man, you got the flu. I'm sorry, bro. I appreciate you being here, man. Thank you, Nas, for even being here, man. Hope you feel better. And yeah, it's getting cold. And watch 60. I didn't really have that much interest either. I was getting weed, but while I was waiting on it, I started to watch the beginning, and then when I came home, I caught some of the end. And it was sad to see, honestly. Listen, it was pretty inspiring seeing some of the training stuff Tyson did, seeing how good of a shape he got in. I mean, he was 58, but that's this Jake Paul stuff, man. I don't know how long people are going to want to see this shit. I don't even. Have you seen a Jake Paul fight that was actually entertaining? Has anyone seen one? I have not. Hey, Tom, it's going. It's going. I've had worse days than this, certainly. So it's going. Still going and flowing. How are you, Tom? How's Mama J and everyone over there? Shout out to Utah. Going to fall asleep, AMSR. How Mike do? Not that good. Not that good. Now, rather not, I still think it was some rigging involved, just because that's how I am. But I didn't see the whole fight. I only see part of it, and a lot of people are reporting what I thought. Never saw a single fight of his. Just a clip in there talking about Paul. Yeah, I don't think people watch the fights. Doing good at the moment. Mama's asleep. All right, shout out to Mama J. Enjoy your sleep. Sleep is important. Good Lord. I realized that. Have I seen one? I feel like I saw the Tyron Woodley? I remember at least seeing that knockout, and I mean, I think his fights are either rigged or there's rules about them that we aren't told. And I'm not the only one. And there's rumor about these sort of rules that you can't hit him as hard as he can hit you and all this other crazy shit. Certain blows you're not supposed to go. There's segments of fights where the Mayweather fight where it looks like he kind of helps him. I'm too old to be dressed. You know what? You're not wrong. Big Trap. I'm not sure how old or young enough you are for a Big Trap, not the little one. But you're not wrong. that's undoubtedly true. I have no defense. Other than I'm an asshole on the internet, so I got to stand out. So here we are. I'm a non-photogenic asshole on the internet. I got to stand out. Here we are, Big Trap. But no, you're not. What I'm gonna tell you, this is wrong. It's factually correct. I forgot which Paul brother. I think it was Jake. Was it Jake? Oh, that was Jake, right? Yeah, it was Jake. And Jake Paul won. Yeah. What did you guys think of the fight? Y'all probably saw more of it than me. You probably saw more of it than me. Um, but yeah, Jake Paul won. Though I think the fight was scripted. I didn't see every part of everything because streaming plus like I said, I was getting weed. But yeah, I definitely think it was scripted. I think all Jake Paul fights are scripted. I think everyone. And I even think that not the Jake Paul. If you guys remember, I think it was 2020 when Tyson fought Roy Jones. I thought that was scripted as well. Yeah, it already happened. It happened tonight. Michael Moody said you feel it was rigged. I feel like all Jake Paul fights, and I don't know why it happened tonight. Why did it happen tonight instead of Saturday? I thought it was Saturday until very come on, like Kamala. Joe, he just looked. It was sad to see. Once I saw some of the later rounds, and it would just felt sad to see. It almost like he was trying his hardest. It was sad to see. I didn't like seeing that, man. Let me see what is time. What's shameful? Sister said she was rooting for Jake Paul. Yeah, why you rooting for Jake Paul? Bite the glove was in the script for Paul to slow down on him. Maybe he's a 58-year-old man. He's a 58-year-old man. I mean, I didn't see like I said, I didn't see the whole fight. They might take a lot of damage. That's the one thing I was worried about. I'm like, listen, I get he was one of the most dangerous fighters ever and all this other stuff, but he fought, what was it, 56 professional fights. He took a lot of damage, brain damage, 20, 30 years ago and plus. And you add years and years, drug use, obviously, all this other stuff. His head is, I'm sure his brain, as well as it functions, as smart as he is and articulate as he is, it's only so much damage you can take. You know what I'm saying? He definitely has CTE. There's no doubt about it. Yeah, he started to look and move like Hollywood. Oh man. But yeah, there's no doubt about it. He has some sort of CTE or some sort of brain issue. Like I said, he can still be very articulate. He can still have a thought-provoking statement, but it's just obvious that he has. Call you crazy? Man, I don't think it's crazy at all. It's a lot of money, man. I'll step in the ring with anybody for how much did he get paid? What, like 10 or 15 million, some crazy number? Maybe more than that. Y'all tell me how much money was made. And then another thing about, talking about the ring and the gambling, bro. People put a lot of money on this fight. A lot of money. A lot of people wanted to see Tyson win, so they put money in it. 20 million? Whew. There's no, listen, I think I'm in bad condition, as y'all can see. But the 20 million, there's nobody I wouldn't get the ring with for 20 million. And in this economy, 20 million, 40 million, they should have been 30-30. That's some bullshit. How did Paul get 40? I guess it's his promotion. Whatever. So 40-20. But there's nobody I would be scared of. I'll get in the ring with anyone for $20 million. Anyone on earth. Anyone on earth. I would get in the ring and fight and just do my best. Worst case, as long as the ref knows to stop the fight, and I'll do my best and just live with the results. For $20 million, I'll talk shit. I'll do everything. So this is my promo. I'll talk shit. I'll make it look interesting. I'll do conditioning. I'll do road work. I will train my ass off for $20 million, and I'll get in the ring. If I lose, I lose, and I knock into food next to me. But if I lose, I lose. But there's nobody in the ring I wouldn't get in the ring with. No, but I would get in the ring with Prime Mike Tyson for $20 million. The ref is gonna stop the fight. You know what I'm saying? Now he could kill me. The risk I take. But it is what it is, man. 20 million. It's a tough economy, man. And like I said, I go to a Diddy party. Yeah, I didn't got my win split for nothing too. You risking for 20 million, no problem. Yeah, I'd have been jumping for, man. Shaka has CTE just off the strength of that. I don't really got the fights and shit. I got the fights for free. So shit, fuck it, why not? But yeah, I think all those Paul fights are rigged. I wonder how much do people want of these? The Jake Paul slash KSI. They got the Misfits. They had, shit. If I was a bigger YouTuber, not just a bigger YouTuber, I wish I could have fought Wings of Redemption or Boogie or one of them fat ass YouTubers. I'll fight the one guy who's it's time to play the game. I'll fight him. I'll fight him in one of these events. But how sick is the public of these? These freak show events, these freak show boxing. This is one of the biggest ones. The exhibition circuit. This is just like for the past 5 or 6 years, however long it's been, we've had this adjunct celebrity boxing, celebrity deathmatch boxing in a way. Like, are we still cool seeing these fights? Like, do we still want to see Jake Paul fight random? Like, would we want to see Jake Paul fight Lennox Lewis or some shit? Like, do we still want to see this shit as a public? A lot of people were hyping this fight. You can't just say no, right? Maybe this will be the one elite. Maybe this will be the last one. Maybe this will be the end of it. But how much do people still want to see this shit? It's like at a certain point, you say, okay, this isn't real boxing. They're not real fighters. Or, in the case of this, there's somebody who once was a great fighter, but he's in his damn near 60s. You want to see Jake Paul fight a Kodiak Bear? Yeah, Paul is going to fight Ali's corpse next. Or the Kodiak Bear, or both, for fuck's sake. That's the thing. It's become pro wrestling and beyond for this shit. But there's still such an interest. And I think if the names excite people, people will want to see it. If, let's say, Sugar Sean O'Malley, or, he just lost recently, Tate Davis or somebody, or whoever, got into a fight with Jake Paul, people will still want to see it. You know what I'm saying? I think there's still fights to make in this weird, I don't even know what to call it, this weird class of boxing that's just become a part of the culture, so to speak. Francis, the guy, you versus Jake, they might make it. Who knows, Zach? Appreciate you being here. Who knows if the money's right, but don't expect a real fight if they do make it, but they might. Yeah, I had some issues too, Slasher. I had some issues too. So that's why I said I didn't see the whole fight. What I saw was not good. I think they have at a certain extent, but we'll see about the forever part. They definitely have put their names in boxing history forever the past 5-6 years with this new brand of boxing, celebrity boxing. Have they changed it forever? It looks like maybe this is the new class for where boxers retire. I mean, obviously Floyd has been a part of it. Maybe Jake Paul Pacquiao is the next fight. You know what I'm saying? It depends on how long they can keep this going, or whether they change this forever. That's why I'm wondering where, if the next fight announcement was Jake Paul Pacquiao, right? And I don't know that Pacquiao even wants to do any of this shit. But let's say he did. And it was like Jake Paul Pacquiao. Would people, oh my God, we got to see this fight? Would it have hype? Yes or no? I think on some level it would. Well, he's a little younger. Maybe he'll beat Jake. You know what I'm saying? He won the championship just 5 years ago. Maybe he'll beat Jake. Boxing needed to change. What we needed was Turkey Al-Sheikh, but now that he's here, that's another good point to bring up. Boxing needed to change for a long while, but not this kind of change. So what boxing needed, it finally got, which was Turkey Al-Sheikh to. And I'm not saying he's a cure-all, because he doesn't do it for every division, every fight, but he's brought a lot more activity to the game and made ways for fights to happen that otherwise wouldn't in the political system we were dealing with as far as boxing. Not like right-left politics, but just the networks and all this other stuff. He breaks through all that. That's what we needed. And now that we have that, I don't think the average, I'm cool with it, but it was a lot easier to be cool with it before Turkey Al-Sheikh showed up. Because the thinking was, well, this still brings eyes to boxing at all. A lot of times they'll still have real fights. Real fighters have fought on these fight cards. So there's still something positive for boxing. Now that you have Turkey Al Sheik kind of righting the wrongs of the past few years, you don't really need the gimmicks as much. You know what I mean? Now you have a core product that's much more watchable. So I don't know. Jake Paul's dad versus Tyson, right? They really have taken. It's so funny. Everybody uses wrestling tactics except wrestling nowadays. Oh, he's his dad's favorite fighter. There's tears, and everybody uses all the wrestling tactics except wrestling. All the real sports try to be pro wrestling trying to be a real sport. Crazy work. But yeah, they sold every storyline they could with this fight. I think we do want more, despite how bad that fight was. We like the spectacle of it. We like the spectacle. We like the speculation. We like gambling on it. We like the bullshit. We love bullshit in this country. And then this country, this world. We love the bullshit. We also love the distraction. We love something to talk about. You know, the election was just a few weeks ago. We like having something that's not the election to talk about. What's Johnny Knoxville doing these days? Yeah, Johnny Knoxville. Let's see Johnny Knoxville versus some other guy. People will see it. People will want to see it. That's a good point, Slasher. We'll want to see Johnny Knoxville versus. But what's the guy? The younger Fury that one of the Paul brothers fought. Tommy Fury put Tommy Fury Johnny Knoxville. Book it. People will pay. People will pay to see it. You know what I'm saying? People will pay to see it. Jake Paul versus Tampon. Shit, if you had politicians, a right versus left fight, man, if you could get JD Vance and Tim Waltz to fight or some shit, they don't have to be big names or like, I don't know. Oh, what's the one that everybody really wants? Sake versus Alex Jones? And you can get whatever his name, the Young Turks dude, him versus Alex Jones. That's what we really want. That's what we really want. Presidents decide by steel cage now. Midget boxing over all bros bullshit. Fair enough. Fair enough. But yeah, we want Sake versus Alex Jones in a steel cage match. No holds barred. Easy work. Book it. And yeah, hell yeah, you'll watch Alex Jones versus Sake. That's some shit that would book, that would get some money. That would get some fucking money, bro. That's some shit to book. Let me be a part of it, man. I mean, how much money do you think I think they're both doing for, especially they talk about 60 million. 60 million. It ain't gonna cost 60 million to get that shit to get done. It ain't gonna cost 60 million to get Alex Jones to sing. You can do it for you probably do it for 5 million a piece. Let's get it. 5 million a piece, or you want to do like 4 million a piece and an extra 2 million to the winner. Say Alex Jones. Let's get it. 2025, let's book it. Motherfuckers are tuning into that. I mean, you know, that'll be the real question. Where do we go? Eventually, this Jake Paul saga has to end. And maybe it doesn't end for a while. Maybe he's got another 5 years. I don't know how many more opponents he can pull out of his ass. Who do you really want to see him with? Because there's got to be this sense of, well, maybe, you know, maybe Tyson he still got enough strength to knock him. Yeah, I think it was too. Wade, talking about the Tyson fight, but that's what they sell. Maybe he has enough to knock him out, but we'll see. Alex, so bro, he doing some chicken wings, some tinfoil. He might. Oh yeah, he gonna owe the rest of his life and the rest of his future life. He fucked. Yeah, you watched it. Jake Paul versus Kim Jong Un. What's the next fight? Hey BH. Yeah, what's the next? Where we go next? That's kind of what we're talking about. At least he didn't lose. You talking about Mike? Yeah, I felt like that was red, but I mean, I also felt like Tyson was out of shape and old. That was hard to watch. I didn't see the whole thing because I was having issues and moving out about. Before I watched, it was a tough watch. Media company was just bought by Onion. I didn't know that. You talking about the whole what's that shit called? Infowars. That's crazy work. Next fight, Jerry Jones versus Cowboy Fat. Woo! Jerry Jones is listen, sports are a business, guys. I hate to break it to everybody. Sports are a business. Whether we're talking about the NBA, whether we're talking about the NFL, whether we're talking about Jake Paul, whether we're talking about real boxing, it is a business. So the Cowboys and shit, I just went to a game. Granted, Houston prices ain't crazy, but the ticket prices were still a couple hundred to get in, 75 a part. The food and beer and all that stuff, I mean, it's not great, but I mean, I've heard worse. Still $10 beer, $15 for some wings or whatever. But it ain't terrible. It ain't like $100 and shit. But my point is, it's expensive to go there. It's just money printer. They just had a money printer tonight. They didn't make, they paid them 60 million. I'm sure they made a lot more off of Tyson and Jake Paul. It's a money printer. People love sports. We love the distraction. That's why people got so upset at the politics of sports and Kaepernick and all this shit. All this shit. We just love that distraction. We love that escapism that sports provides. It's like a whole. I mean, you can find probably cheaper for like, other things. It's taking it over, having it set up to a real auction. Hey, Decepticon. Oh, you talking about when they buy it to resell it? Is that what you mean, Brandon? Because a lot of companies do that. That might be happening with my company right now. Uh, but that's neither here nor there. But a lot of companies will buy it for the purposes of reselling it, and maybe that's what the Onion's gonna do. Yeah, I don't know if he'll ever pay all that shit off for that Sandy Hook case, which a lot of people have a lot of thoughts on that. I'll tell you one thing: this all content creators. Why I toss out allegedly so much. You just gotta protect yourself with your speech as much as you can, and just in general, never be so sure of something. Never be so sure of something. Oh, they don't own it because they didn't legally purchase it at an auction. Oh, that's crazy. Okay. Well, I'm not that much of a business expert to know what the hell that means. Like, how can they take something over if they don't own it? But well, I guess we'll see how that works out. See how that works out. But yeah, we only went to Alex Jones talking about want to see him fight. And I probably mispronounced his Sake or Chake Ugar, however you pronounce his name. The guy from the Young Turks. But yeah, we're in a very mid place with entertainment, sports. I think we just there's a lot of frustration just in the air, man. Shark yogurt. Yeah, him and Alex Jones in a death match, steel cage death match, not to the actual death, but just steel cage match. But I think like I've seen a lot of people complain about the NBA season. I know the ratings are down, and the people who are watching are complaining. There's a big deal about what's his name for the Sixers. Oh my God, Embiid doesn't want to play back to backs. Neither him nor Paul George want to play back to backs, and it's like, what the fuck? So it's just a lot. A lot of people are just frustrated with the NBA's product. There's still good stuff happening. There's some cool stories, but there's a lot of frustration with the NBA right now. I haven't even watched too much. I mean, I've been trying to keep up with the Pistons. Shout out to the Pistons. The East is so bad. We're still in the hunt. um, I mean, I don't know what to say. This is what the NBA wanted. One thing I have noticed, and this is a little bit of a tangent, but it'll make sense in a second. So I've been, focusing on music very recently. That's why we haven't done as many streams. I'm trying to make as much music. Trying to get 2 projects out next year and do it officially because it's just something to say I've done, regardless of how it's going to do. Even though I'm worried about that, that's what I'm doing. So I'm watching a lot more stuff with music, and I'm watching a lot of stuff on rap. It's just music in general, and I realize, and I don't mean this. This is not necessarily I don't mean this racially per se. There's a lot of broccoli haired ass energy towards a lot of stuff. And what I mean by that is just this young, and listen, I was a hipster myself. And probably a hype beast when I was young too, but this young hype beast, hipster energy towards the core fan bases of a lot of products. Whether you're talking music, whether you're talking sports, whether you're talking basketball. And you have the fan base is what it is they're not really hardcore fans, but they operate the space of the hardcore fans. It's hard to say. Wrestling is something where this is a lot easier to point out. The IWC, you have this base of fans that they are now the hardcore fans, and they are now the tastemakers of it. And I know I was talking about music, but a lot of that fan base is now the fan base of sports, in particular basketball. And these are the people who have the YouTube channels that have millions of views. These are the people who get on ESPN, who the Nick Wrights of the world. And I think basketball has just become similar to hip hop about everything but the game. It's become about different. How. Granted, these stories have always existed. Where you have a player who played with a team most of his career, and then he plays that team, right? The Clay versus the Warriors thing, which did do pretty good ratings. But then a lot is made about whether or not they text each other, right? That's the storyline. Are these guys friends? Do they text each other? Are they still cool? This is the storyline. That's why I put broccoli here, Instagram, whatever. I'm not trying to blame the Zoomers. We started. Millennials started. This ESPN started. The dramification of everything. The dramification, the days of our liveification of sports storylines, and the on-screen product that you actually get, where it's the actual sport, where it's the actual game, is the least interesting element of the whole core. So that's why I went on my tangent about rap. That's what's happened to basketball. And so a lot of that, and this is from the hardcore basis. These are the main people who have put this into place, accidentally or not. It's not a lot of hardcores are just watching, or casuals. You just tune in and you just see a bunch of threes getting jacked up. You're like, I don't want to watch this, and you stop watching. Where the people who are watching it are watching, oh, is he going to play? What about this? What about this storyline? Oh, yeah, they play each other. Are they still friends? All this bullshit. Whammon shit. Yeah. Yeah, Retro Richard, do you disagree? I'm not sure how long you've been here. Since your Diddle's completely tuned out the NBA. Yeah, he said good, make more. I got to keep making music. Stopped watching NBA over a decade ago. Fair enough. I stopped watching about a decade ago, and it came back a few years ago. But I'm off and on. I haven't watched much this year. Hey, Richard, they'd rather show us WNBA than NBA. At this point, both are the WNBA. Shout out to LeBron getting another triple-double. I don't give a damn what anyone said other than me is doing with basketball. Shout out to LeBron. I think I messaged you. What do you think about Chris Paul? I'm still somewhat keeping up with the league, but watching whole games is very uninteresting, man. Even playoff games can be very uninteresting. It's not as watchable of a sport. I would say, what's that bald head cocksucker's fucking name? Not the David Stern cocksucker, the cocksucker after the Kurt. I'm looking at this bald motherfucker. Chris isn't using Wemby, right? No, that's stupid. That's the whole point of being there, is to throw lobs to Wemby. And so Wemby can stop shooting so many fucking threes. What is this cocksucker's name? Who is the commissioner of the league right now? And I can't think. Adam Silver. Sorry about that. Jazz 3-8. Well, hey, that's a playing spot in the East. I think we're like 4-7 or something, like the Pistons. But Adam fucking Silver, he made the mistake. And some of this was David Stern, of thinking if they score more points, more people will watch. That's not true. That's not true. Yeah, you would think the pick and roll, like, that's why we have you here. Run picks and throw lobs to this long, gangly man. That's all we need you to do. I think coaching has been bad in the NBA for 30, 40 years. I think David Stern, I think they both are bad. A lot of people, this is like when people want to big up Bush because he's not in office. Like Bush crashed the economy and got us in the war. He was terrible. He was a terrible president. But he hasn't been the president in a long time. So you're like, oh yeah, Bush. Remember it was so simple. It was much simpler then with Bush. Like, no, it wasn't. It's a lie. And so I think some people got to do the same with Adam Silver. Not Adam Silver. David Stern. Oh, things were simpler. No, it wasn't. There's a lie. They both suck. But the mistake was, well, we need to get this. And this is why some of this is on David Stern. He's the one who made a lot of these rules. He's the one who made up the extra step and got rid of hand checking and all this stuff because of the '04 Pistons and the '05 Spurs. And we were too defensive. So we want to make it more offensive. Okay. Well, now it's just a bunch of guys jacking up threes, looking up analytics, and doing per 30. So now you got what you asked for. You got what you asked for. You started there, rig a lot of the league. Further away from the Bush, the more piss you get at him, well, that's good because Bush was a piece of shit. That extra, that's why we got step backs and step to the sides. Now that's what they teach you. You gotta gather step, then you do one, then you do two. So you really get 3 steps, but that's the rule. It's not, but that's why you got all these fucking. You used to have a dribble step back. People, Larry Bird did it. Kiki Vanderway did it. A lot of people did the dribble step back. Even Jordan would do it. Fucking Penny had a cold spin on his dribble step back. But now you have a gather plus 1, 2 step. You get the hop step. He said you get 5. I mean, in reality, you do. You absolutely get 5 steps. Because then some people argue, well, when did this dribble stop? So you can dribble, take a few steps. Well, I haven't stopped my dribble. Now I've gathered 1, 2. There's all sorts of arguments. That's David Stern. David Stern started it. You know what I'm saying? I know you want to get mad at Adam Silver because that's when it got crazy, but that was under David Stern's. And that was, they need to, I don't even care about getting rid of that rule. Just stop the baiting, the foul baiting. If they could just stop the offensive guy getting the foul call after initiating the contact. Stop that. Stop calling somebody fouls. Even the NFL, they realize they cannot throw so many pass interference calls. They a few years ago they were throwing all these pass interference, and that's actually affected the league in the NFL. There was so much pass interference. They were letting these guys do whatever they wanted with the fucking passing game, and that's why a lot of quarterbacks kind of suck because they learned you could just sling it wildly, and now they're being a lot more physical with these receivers, and they're allowing a lot more physical play with these receivers. And a lot of these quarterbacks are getting exposed or exposing themselves. Eliminate fouls. Hard takes 2 step during the dribble, then dribbles, then takes a step back. Yeah, you're right. It's really, it could be up to 5. It could be more than that, depending on how, what they're going to chop steps while you have the dribble, but you haven't gathered. You might take another dribble. I've seen all this show on the internet. And they're teaching this shit. You know what I mean? This isn't just, this is what is allowed. This is what they're now teaching the AAU generation. This is part of what happened. There's not a lot of team-oriented basketball. There's not a lot of, so much is just guys running the ones. And that's cool in spots. Yeah, that's the rule. Yeah, you're right. In reality, it doesn't travel, but it looks horrible. You know what I'm saying? And it absolutely wasn't travel 20, 30 years ago. And Harden has got away with extra steps as well. But I know what you're saying. The 2 step back, he's doing a step back during the dribble, then he does another dribble, and then he gathers and does a step. I get it. I've seen it explained, the Harden extra step back, how it is legal, but he's done it without doing it properly. I would say that. And he's done a lot more shit, especially a lot of that the 3 or 4 step Euro step. Harden ain't innocent. No, it doesn't. He does it so fast. Sometimes he does it correctly, and that is the case. Sometimes he's fucking up, and he's just getting a call because he's Harden. And it's not just because he's hard. I mean, shit, even lower level guys don't get that call. They don't check feet no more. They don't. Shit, I was watching something talking about moving your feet before the ball dribbles and moving your pivot feet before you dribble. That used to be something you get called. I don't get called anymore. Um, you get LeBron's crab dribble gather. Then there's a highlight tape of people missing travel calls, with guys picking up and shit. Giannis has gotten away. Now, again, sometimes Giannis is just using his length. It's legitimately gather 1-2 and it's dunk, and it is legit and it is legal. And then other times he gathers, takes 5 steps in the lane and dunks. So, well, not just spit, even or just gathers to the lane. He can take some extra. Everybody's taking extra steps. Everybody's taking extra steps. I know there was that joke when they didn't let was it? What's called was trying to do the same step that we was just talking about, Steph, and they called a travel on him, but he didn't quite do it wrong. Just mean walking with. I mean, there's all sorts of highlight tapes, and not highlight low light tapes. LeBron spin move, one of the greatest transition spin moves ever. I don't know about that. Listen, I'm not a LeBron hater. I'm not a LeBron like Glazer either. I mean, listen, I gotta give him his credit for still playing, year 22 or whatever it is, still being a productive player. That's impressive as fuck. A lot of accolades, impressive, but everything he does. I mean, he's got to wait. A lot of flopping in his day. Sometimes the bullshit can go either way with some of the calls. There's times where he may be not getting every single call that he deserves, but there's times where he's given a lot of leeway. I saw the same thing happen with Shaq, where they didn't call every travel on Shaq they could have, and they didn't call every foul on the opposing team on Shaq that they could have. So that just kind of comes with it. They just kind of let you, because they don't call every single time LeBron gets fouled. I will give you that. But they don't call every time he does something janky with his footwork. He retired off court. Give him a transition spin move. LeBron has something. LeBron got plenty. He's a fucking multi-trillionaire. He got his son into the league, well, the G League, but he got his son into an NBA game where he had no business being. I mean, hasn't he accomplished enough? Shit. Like, ain't like he broke. And listen, LeBron ain't gonna offer you something if you win this debate with me. He can be like, you know what? In front of 8 viewers, you debate this dude in front of some action figures in a mask who admitted he was too old to be dressed the way he is. You know, I appreciate that, bro. I appreciate that, little bro. No, that ain't what's gonna happen. Now, I do think LeBron is a boule puppet. I will say that. Him and Shannon Sharpe. As entertaining as Shannon Sharpe can be, I will say that. But then again, you know how I think. I think everybody down with them evil people. I think everybody you see on TV on some level is down with those evil people. That's just, am I wrong? I'm sure I am. I'm sure not every single solitary person is. But I think it is. How LeBron move on? Just talk with Devastator, right? Fight was dog shit. Hey, Forbidden Room, back talking about the fight. We've been chatting about that off and on for, oh man, it's only been 40 minutes. So it was a female fight. I didn't see no other fight. And I only saw parts of that because I had issues. But I appreciate you being here, Ron. Yeah, that's why I say everything is red. I think it's something like that in the title. I definitely think there was some rigging going on. Tyson didn't try. I saw a few moments where I guess he called himself try, but it felt janky. And Tyson's not a good actor. I don't know if anyone's ever seen I mean, he was good in The Hangover. But I'm talking about like live, like when they did WWF back in the day with Stone Cold. He was smile. He wasn't a great bestseller. All he did is play with you. It was a lot of hugging and a lot of like late movements and shit. Like, okay, I've seen you. I don't know. I thought it was some rigging. $5 million per jab throw. Tyson did have his own cartoon with Norm Macdonald, which is what when they had that dumb Velma shit. I said, well, this show has already done what you were trying to do, which is create your own Scooby Doo esque team and use an adult oriented theme, and they did it better than Mike Tyson Mysteries. It was a pretty good show. Did he only throw 4 jabs? I thought it was a mess. And then Tyson, even his condition, that was a mess. How many more of these are you willing to watch for these Jake Paul bullshit fights? And since you didn't watch it, I watched parts of it. I didn't see much of it because of technical issues. Now, I probably should have did more content on it, but I didn't really care. You know what I mean? It was kind of like, Man, I ain't gonna say I totally didn't care. I obviously did. Cold Thone Fee Thawther. Tried watching it, but only got some of it. Got bored by round 3. I watched some of the first round and some of the last 2. And some of the last 2 looked kind of winded. And there was a lot of hugging and you dozed off during this fight. It was so short, boring as fuck. He is almost 60, yeah. Yeah. It was like I said, I think it probably was some rigging going on. And a lot of money was made, man. People put money on up in Vegas over this shit, believe it or not. Believe it or not. And that gambling thing with sports, my God, there is so much gambling right now, man. Everything is gambling when it comes to sports. That is the new wave. It's motherfucking Fox Bet, DraftKings, there's all these different betting sites. It's unreal. And people are putting a lot of money into this gambling shit, man. I didn't know Twitch was supposed to be anti-gambling. Are they? I didn't know they were. But appreciate you being here, El Gordo, Forbidden Ruin. Anyone else who joined, blame my head, not my heart. But yeah, this gambling shit is getting crazy. Shout out to Pete Rose, rest in peace. It's still wild that he never made the Hall of Fame because of gambling, but they did shit to Otani. Half the ads you get on Twitch are sports betting, gambling, or online casino apps. I'm not shocked. I didn't know they had an anti-gambling stance. But I'm not shocked at all. Gambling is being pushed on the people, and people are going towards it. I mean, because everybody likes to think they know what happens anyway, right? And so you put especially these parlays, people come up with these wild ass parlays. Well, if I bet $50 and this team blows out that team and this many yards and all this other shit, it's gotta happen. I can make 15 grand, and people put all their money on it. Place one bet a year on. You said that UCL winner. Motherfuckers really betting daily. People are betting daily, weekly. People are betting on the WNBA. People are betting on politics, election. People bet on this fight. People are betting on any goddamn thing they can bet on. Twitch doesn't like gambling, but they like OnlyFans. Either one or the other, or both. Yeah. Gambling is bannable on Twitch if they have a poker card. That's crazy work. But we know these platforms are bullshit. That's why you can still do naked and hot yoga on this platform right now. But they still taking down my shit. I'm still getting old streams taken down for medical misinformation. Sports betting during the event piss you off. Yeah, they definitely pushing a lot of gambling. And yeah, that's same here. There's a lot of gambling places. You go to the gas station, it's a little gambling, little casino or whatever the fuck back in the back. So I do put 10K on Harris. I believe it. I told people to do it. You listen to me, you would have lost money. I thought they was going to cheat. But that's not what happened. Hell yeah, it's a scam. Somebody put 700K. Yo. I wouldn't tell you put that much money. That's crazy. Yeah, it's a lot of gambling spots, but apparently you can't. There's laws against gambling in Texas, like online gambling. But they got gambling spots everywhere. And you got a VPN, apparently you can get around it. But I don't know, man. I haven't been doing it because I don't need no more vices, bro. Y'all can see I'm already big. I'm smoking. I got enough vices. And then here comes Zeus. Move, Zeus. I don't need any more bullshit. XQC, I never heard of him. Seems like too easy. Ain't real. Put $10 on it. At least you get something. Let's see. Yeah, don't fall for this gambling shit. I'm not telling you what to do altogether, but don't be putting hundreds and hundreds, thousands of dollars on shit. Don't be gambling every day, every game, every week, every month. You know what I mean? You got poker houses in Dallas. Yeah, there's poker houses everywhere here in Houston, but apparently you can't do it online. At least I don't think. But I think, like I said, I think if you got a VPN, you can get around it. But yeah, gambling is everywhere. So you don't watch out for it. That's a huge thing that sports is pushing hard. And I think it's actually starting to backfire on some of the people. I think some of the people are just getting tired of feeling like swindled. If you go to a casino, you go with $100 bill, anything over that $100 mark, you cash out. That's a good logic to have. Say, all right, I'm willing to lose this much. I'm having a little fun. That's it. I almost won 22K. You just need Russell Westbrook to have 15 points at 3 for 25. Damn. I'm sorry, bro. So you were trying to use it to go to college. Damn, I'm sorry, bro. Rough work, man. And they know when the bets are made, they know that they're made. You know that, right? I mean, they talk about it. Oh, somebody bet this much on this. Wait, maybe. You never know. That's the one thing. Say when you miss out on opportunity, you also miss out on the negative opportunity, right? So you never know what would happen if you would have hit it, went to college, wasted the money, and felt bad. You know what I mean? It'd been in a worse off place. Who knows? Lose all of the, you still you come up, don't go over your limit. Yeah, it writes about your will, but they definitely try to test your will. That's why they want to give you alcohol in the casino, so you have a little less inhibition. Your gambling is MTG cards. If you went to UConn or UCLA, aka UCLA. Well, with Snow Bunny, honey, that's what's up. I'm just teasing you because that's your thing. Even though I think some of the sipping in general is bad. But yeah, you could have transitioned. They might try to transition you out there at UCLA. You never know. And listen, a lot of men are reporting not positive things from his colleges. No, I don't know. Maybe everything would work out. Maybe it wouldn't. You never know either way. A lot of people crash out in college. Maybe you would have, maybe you wouldn't have. It ain't about doubting you. It's about going back to the gambling phrase, playing the odds. You need to smoke. Yeah, I just got some. Just got some. Just so I can keep the whole little music thing going. This has been pretty fun. I'm a little nervous about it, but hence the smoking. But it's actually been fun to kind of think about music like this again and actually be. One thing I will say, even though I keep seeing all these horror stories about Spotify, these horror stories about distributors, I hope United Masters doesn't jank me. I think that's the one I'm gonna go with. It is cool that Spotify and Apple Music and Amazon and Tidal and whatever, mainly Spotify. That is the main platform that everyone uses for music. And in this day and age, there's a very low barrier entry to put your own music out there. That is still fucking amazing. Did not hear about the college. Trump is proposing an American Academy. I don't know. I did not hear about that. What is that? What would that entail? We need an overhaul of our education system. It was made by Rockefeller to create industrial revolution era workers. We are not an industrial, we are post industrial revolution. We need much more high end STEM oriented motherfuckers, and we need a lot more blue collar oriented motherfuckers than we have. Everybody just has this kind of whatever. Now, some of this should be training in the world. We also need to realize that in the post chat GPT world, these kids ain't really learning much either. You know what I mean? They're just using chat GPT to do a lot of the heavy lifting. And so, and again, the course selection, they're not learning about things like shit. See my fat ass diet, health, actual skills. I think people have regressed social skills. I think there's a lot wrong with our education system, and that's before you get into all the wokeness. That's before you get into all these female teachers touching the youth. That's before you get into all that bullshit. But just the base level education system, at its best, is not preparing our youth for the future or even for the present. So yeah. So we'll see. I don't know what that Trump Academy. I don't know if that's going to help or bullshit. Going to be free. It's going to be suing the colleges. Kids learn in public school. Kids not learning in public school. They learn they can pick that gender all over people. They learn everything. They're learning how to do perks. They're learning how to do Xannies. They're learning how to do bullshit. They're learning how to pick their genders and wear a bunch of colorful hairdos. And I learned the shit. Yeah, I would homeschool. Oh, Trump gets scorched earth. We'll see what happens. I'm interested to see how this shit's gonna work. I don't want to hear no more complaining. Listen, I'll tell you this: the Republicans got they got the Senate and the House too. I don't want to hear Republicans complain about shit because a lot of Republicans have made it real cool to go, "Woe is me." Oh, they won't do this. The mainstream media, this, the mainstream that, and they've become victims themselves. And it's like, okay, you have the House, you got the Senate, you got the presidency, you won the fucking thing, not off the electoral colleges, off the majority vote too. You got everything you need. This is your vote for the next 2 years. I don't want to hear shit. If we're still in the shit space in 2 years, it's all on you. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to hear, oh, well, they said, oh, well, CNN, oh, well, this. Motherfuckers always got something to say. Smoke on the street. I don't know how that works. So you might get kicked out of Class C, so you never know. Abolish the Department of Education. Libtards told you it didn't exist for being ruined. That's wild work. It most certainly does exist. Here's another thing. In Baltimore schools, I hate to pick on you guys. You got good police, but the school system there, Baltimore public schools is one of the most expensive school systems in the country, maybe and it's one of the worst school systems by every quantifiable measure. It had the kid who was in the middle of his class, who had a .0 whatever the fuck GPA, and then the damn mom, instead of having him get a GED, he gonna keep going till he graduate. No, get him a GED. Fucking single mother. But it's a scam. A lot of these school systems are money printers for the sticky finger administration. That's why. And that's another reason your school system is jank. And it don't just happen in the hood. It happens in the suburbs too. The little administration, they know they get a budget. They do enough to satisfy the budget and make sure don't nobody yell at them, and they make sure they get the shit they need out of the budget too. That's just the way government works, unfortunately. Better invest. Yeah, it is better. It will be much better to invest that money. Weed is banned on Twitch now. Really? The CEO said no. If it's not legal everywhere, it's not legal here. Oh, fuck it. I don't read all the guys. Yeah. Man, listen, if I'm starting, I'm very close to getting fully monetized. If that's affected, cool. Otherwise, man, what the fuck? Said Black Rock and the Dominicans took it from. Well, it's not like Russell Westbrook took it from you. Okay, I go off screen. Whoa, one of your stories, schools funded by meth cartel. It probably is accurate. I'm sure that's accurate. I'm sure there's schools funded by cartels by now. Fizz. Hey, listen, it's your story too. I mean, you can make it. It's not, if you're talking about is it implausible? No, it's not. It sounds plausible. Shit, at this point, it seems like when it comes to Mayco, people do business with the cartel. They don't even do business with the government. So some cartels are that powerful. So there's definitely some truth to that, or at least believability. If you would have won that bet, investing would be better. Shit, you would have won that bet and put it in the S&P 500. You probably would have made more money off it. Cartel government, what's the difference? It's a good question. It's a very good question. I don't have the answer because I don't think there is much of a difference. You know, whatnot, you do your own stream. Okay. You do your own kind of string. Yeah, do you. That's what's up. Yeah, like you said, weed. They're watching. Doge. I remember Dogecoin. I might even still have some. I don't even know. I think I got a little crypto left, but I haven't really checked it in a while. I can get into it though if I need to. The mob in Italy, I can't pronounce that what they call it, built a port with EU development money so they can import coke through it. Wow. Well, I mean, shit, I know back in the day, and probably still is true, a lot of Florida government officials and a lot of Florida government and infrastructure was made for and by the cocaine dealers, just various cartels, because it was so not just directly but indirectly. A lot of banks, a lot of that stuff was started to launder money, and it ended up being just a part of the fucking infrastructure. I'm not sure if it's still there. Hey, Bush, appreciate that. Doge, the Department of Government Efficiency. There you go. You know how efficient the government is. It's why we always want more of it. I know he's talked about. Interesting take says making the weed legal is making the government a cartel. What do you guys think about legal weed? It's decriminalized here in Harris County. No, they're going to remove parts of it. Parts of what I already smoked. Remove parts of the cartel or parts of weed laws. They may reschedule it. I don't know what the hell they're going to do. What do you guys think about legal weed? Don't do drugs? That's good. Don't do drugs. I agree with this too. Everything seized in the streets is turned and sold on the streets. Seized at the border is sold on the streets by our feds. I agree with this. All Department of Government and Efficiency is going to stop government spending. I believe that the government has such a track record that I believe in when I see it. If it works out, cool. But I believe it when I see it. Usually, and this is not just a government, this is a human thing. You come up with something new to combat a problem, then it becomes a problem, unfortunately. Do they take guns and sell it to the drug cartels? That's crazy. I don't put it past them. I don't put it past them. Take guns apart, make better funds. Listen, it's already on record, the Iran-Contra affair, that that the government was moving cocaine. Frank Lucas in the 70s alleged to have used government planes to transport heroin. So, like, this isn't, that's at least alleged. The cocaine stuff in the 80s and 90s is confirmed. this is nothing new. This is it's the government at large. There aren't important government people to run it. Okay, man. Listen, if he does it, like I don't know if you were here a second ago. Listen, they got everything they could possibly want. If they can make America great, you got everything you need to make America great again. I believe they got the Senate in the House. If you do it, cool beans. I'm with it, but I will believe it once I see it. If you make weed legal, you have to open the door to a lot of other drugs legal. But your blood pressure meds won't be. Interesting take. You know what? We can go many directions with that. We now live in a post-Ozempic world. If you're going to reclassify a plant, should that be reclassified? What if Ozempic was sold over the counter even if now the cost it has now is too much, but what if it was $50 a pop or whatever? I don't know how much. I don't know how many shots it is. What if you selling Ozempic at Walmart in the pharmacy section? You know what I mean? You start reclassifying drugs. Like you said, you make it legal. A lot of times people will go to cocaine or go to heroin or what about all this other stuff? What about other stuff that we're not thinking about? What about steroids? I mean, we already got. You can argue steroids damn near are legal. You know what I mean? With these quote unquote HGH clinics or whatever, you can, if you want to go right now, if you're my age, a little younger even, maybe even in your 20s, and go to one of these clinics and say, hey, doc, I'm just trying to get some TRT. You can get hooked up. Some of these right clinics will get you right. You know what I mean? Get you TRT, HGH, all sorts of shit. Right now. What if this shit is next on legalization? Listen, I lean libertarian, but I understand enough about the human condition that, you know what I mean? It can get crazy. It can get hairy. That's a good point. Heroin is legal if a doctor's prescribing. We call it Oxycontin, or we call it Perks, or we call it this, that, and the third. You say Ozempic ages you 20 years and 4 months. Ozempic, $50 a hoe. The hoes love Ozempic though. You know what I'm saying? So you came from you say, but your blood pressure, man. What if they did? What if we did start to reclassify drugs? Had a totally different. I mean, this is not a good thing. I'm surprised the drug companies haven't done this. Maybe they feel like they can charge more per pop by having a current system. But if they made a lot more things OTC, you know, a lot of countries, steroids are OTC and legal. They're not illegal everywhere. And I think Ozempic, I mean, I don't know every country. I think even stuff like that, certain things can be gotten over the counter, what they call behind the counter, where you can get it at a pharmacy. You have to ask for it, but you can still get it. FBI outsourced company was selling the guns they were meant to destroy. Oof. Pretty much everything is legal on the West Coast. Yeah, you're right. They do got that shit. I don't think it's the whole West Coast, but isn't it Oregon and Washington? And then, you're pretty much right. The whole West Coast. It ain't like California. They got all sorts of wacky shit that hasn't worked. But didn't Portugal do something similar? One of those European countries did something similar as well. Eric Holder, Fast and Furious. Confiscated guns, I see. Fentanyl. Yeah, it's something like that. I don't know how. I'm a boomer. I don't even know how fentanyl works. I know it is something that is medical, but yeah, it's basically heroin. It's legal to have in Oregon, California, and Washington. Okay, yeah, so it's all 3 states. You know, one thing they will call something like Texas fashion. So in Texas, I talked about laws against gambling. You can buy liquor from a bar until 2 or 3, whatever it is. It's probably 2. But you can't buy, like, after 9 p.m., all liquor stores are closed, which was similar in the South, similar in North Carolina, South Carolina, same deal. Also, they put something on the Prime. You have to age verify if you want to watch online Prime. Now, again, I do lean libertarian, but I also recognize the human condition. I absolutely drink less, beat off less, and gamble less because of those 3 things. There's no doubt that those things actually impact my behavior and make my behavior better. You know what I'm saying? I don't necessarily agree with them. I think I deserve the freedom to choose, but having it's just one of the things. You see, you know what I mean? You're going to do the action less if there's a little bit more restriction. It's just the way it is. So I can't help but to sort of, even as a smoker, even as somebody who leans libertarian, I do understand that the more normal you make something and the more something is accessible, the more something's going to get used. If you had cocaine, and this is something Matt had talked about. What if they had cocaine at the 7-Eleven? Like, are you serious? You know what I'm saying? Look what's going on with this Galaxy gas, these whippets or whatever, at Walmart. Now, I think regulation will be incoming on these things, but just look at the chaos that shit's causing. So it's just like, I believe in liberty, but I also believe humans are humans, man. And that's also a good point. I'm from the government, and I'm here to help. It's never a census you're trying to hear. Never trying to hear that shit. Cali just writes a ticket. I see. And Cali doesn't make it pay. So it's basically legal. I knew Washington, Oregon. I didn't know what the laws were with Cali. I thought they still had some laws. I guess they basically don't. Portugal and Switzerland did it, and they made it work. Cali's not the standard to go by. They do fail miserably. I think, if I remember, one thing Portugal and Switzerland did. See, one thing people don't, I don't know if they really contextualize this outside of America, is how sticky the figures are with the politicians. Politicians everywhere are corrupt, but in America, they will just obfuscate whole programs. We saw that, what was it, Mississippi with the SNAP food stamps. It's like they will just rob whole programs dry. So I believe Portugal's system, that what they do is they do a lot more treatment. They put so much money into treatment to kind of nullify that, and therefore a lot of people get treated. The addictions don't get as well as bad. The California government is never going to allow that, because that money is going to get fucked up. Half the reason we got a homeless problem is because of the fucking up of government funds that go into the homeless system. Listen, I said, I think the title is "Everything is Rigged, So What?" or something like that. Government funding is a gimmick. Down to the people talk about the military budget. The military budget is bloated. There's intentional waste. There's intentional over expense. Things. Sometimes the military, a lot of times the military is paying over retail for things because of very high lobbyists. So it's not even efficient funding. The government does not do anything efficiently. Why are the prices of college so expensive, and everyone has these crazy student loans for gender studies basket weaving degree? Well, because the government was paying for so much college, they just kept rising the prices because of a lot of government funding they were getting, and they just kept milking more the government to the point where if you don't have any government funding back in your college education, you can't get it unless you're super rich, and it ain't worth a damn if you do get it. Can somebody clear this up? Galaxy Jazz. You know what, Fizz? I don't even know. I'm such a boomer, brother. I don't know what Galaxy Gas is. I wish I did. Cali is just using the carrot. All the countries that made it work use the stick and the carrot. Fair enough. Fair enough. Switzerland charges addicts with criminal charges if they commit a crime. Yeah. That's crazy work, Bush. That's what he meant by the carrot and the stick. That's a good point. That's a good point. Portugal population 10.4 million, a quarter of California, similar with a fifth of California for Switzerland. A lot easier. Yeah, that's very true. I would say, if you kept talking about California, what about Oregon? Oregon and Washington, how do those states compare population wise? I would imagine they're a little closer. Should have opened a windshield car replacement company in San Fran. But I mean, listen, We can't do shit right here. These governments are very good at being inefficient. Plus, the government wanted to fix the problem. That's another thing. We want to fix the problem, not just live to our daydreams and virtue signal. Lower, I think less than 10 million each. So that means Oregon and Washington should have a chance to do it. This is almost, we're not really even arguing. I think we're just bringing out points. But it's just like, there's a will for this not to work from America. You know what I'm saying? There's a will for this not to work. From the government, I'm here to help. Yes, a horrible phrase to hear. There's absolutely the fix is in for any. This is why I just don't believe in government programs. The fix is in. They don't want it to work. They want it to continue. They want the money to continue. Then the fingers get sticky. Then I keep making money off of this. The only people who treat the government like a business are the people who make money off the government. The government itself is actually treated like a whore. So Oregon plus Washington's 11 million. And Cali's at 40 million. So Oregon, you would think then, if it was just population, that Oregon and Washington would have a little bit better of a hold on the situation than Cali does. But I don't think it's just. I think that's a part of it. But I think you got to again want to solve the problem. This goes back to what Dildo was saying. These other countries have a legitimate interest in solving or doing the best they can to combat drug abuse and drug addiction. These states do not have that same interest. They have interest in virtue signaling and continuing the problem so they can continue the funding. That is the key difference that is the bigger difference than the population. I'm not saying California can get it right. Maybe they still couldn't because it's just so fucking massive. But certainly Washington and Oregon could theoretically get it right, and I don't think they will. And I don't think they want to. As far as the people, the powers that be. Whatever Google Assistant says, multiply it by 4. Oh, so you think, I've heard people think that we're underpopulated, that there's not even 1 billion people. I've heard people think the population is more. Unless that's a reference to the immigrants. Which, since you did, was already talking about, what about the illegals? California's at 38 million, 2018, lost population. Yeah, y'all both talking about the illegals. I couldn't tell you. Nobody knows. Nobody knows how many immigrants come in. They're not a part of the American census, fair enough. But they're still part of America, whether they should be or not. Shit, I'm living in Texas. They get a lot of buildings up here quick. That's all I'm saying. They're able to get a lot of buildings up here real fast out here in Texas. Just making just noting a fact. Just noting a fact. I've never seen a place get construction done as quick as Texas does, and I think you can all guess on why that might be. They need repairs fast. Talk about the glass. Yeah. Talk about American census. Okay. Texas has a battleship. 40 to 60 million illegals. That's sheesh. A little less than the population. In the UK, yeah, the Mexicans do build a lot. That's what I was referencing. I didn't realize. I mean, who knows? Maybe that is the number. Like I said, I've heard people. The building, a Mexican building, always need repairs. I see what you're saying. Fair enough. But those are still the buildings that we have. Those are crazy numbers if that's true. 40 million in the last 20 in the last 4 years. That's crazy work. That's crazy work. I'm not saying I disagree. I don't know that it is or isn't true. I mean, it probably is. It's crazy work. We'll see if something's actually done about it. Great Britain population is not doing too well. 66 million. Sheesh. So Mexicans are the most racist. They've been pretty cool to me since I've been here. You know, I'm looking for a big booty Latina, so we'll see. Um, we'll see. I guess that's the ultimate ending thing. Not allowed to vote till December 2015. Oh shit, you're right. I forgot about that. Even though I voted before then. Oh well. Um, what was I finna say? I want to learn Spanish because I'm sick of hearing people have conversations in a language I don't understand. Stop it. You know what you're after? I'll stop this. UK's been flooded with illegals last 10 years too. They're trying to. This is what I was talking about with the population. I think our numbers are less than what we're getting reported. Um, I guess I do see kids in this neighborhood, but before I moved into this neighborhood, it's like I didn't see no kids. It's just like, who's going to pay my Social Security? I know it ain't gonna be there, but joking wise, it's like I don't see us repopulating that well, and I think the West is trying to use immigration to make up for the lack of population, but there's only so much that can go. You should TikTok soon and be a desert wasteland soon? Question mark. Richard, stop. I already explained it. So the population can exist. Yeah, that's why I said soon. You know what I mean? Pretty sure they had a riot because that's already the reality. That's already that's only part of it. It's already in a lot of ways it's happened, which is I know that's a big thing of contention in the UK. I don't live there. I've never visited. I read shit on the internet like everybody else. You know what I mean? And I know that the internet has a ability to over exaggerate reality. But just the conventional thing is there's definitely a lot of friction between the immigrants and the locals. I think that's a safe something I can say with some certainty is there's some friction between the immigrants and the locals there in the UK. Uh, where's this going? I knew it was going somewhere, Booch. You know what they call quarter pounder cheese with parents referencing referencing the what you call it, Pulp Fiction, and of course it's in Arabic. Hey, New Bomb Turk. Appreciate you being here. Started off talking a little bit about the farce that was that boxing match, and now we're talking about geopolitics and all the other shit that random assholes doing on Friday night. And between the different, yeah, that's as well also true. Between the different groups of immigrants, there's definitely a lot of smoke. It is what it is. Like I said, that the West is trying to replace itself with immigration instead of the population. I think part of the reason, and I remember when we covered it. I think it was in the Culture Crime Fighter. Shout out to Matt. And I need to check out his latest episode, but I gotta get further along with the Penguin. In any event, we were talking about. Oh Jesus! Somebody lost my train of thought. Didn't bother with the fight. Knew it was gonna be crap. Fair enough. Oh my God! We were talking about. Oh, the abortion thing. I think when they made that Roe v. Wade was overturned, and a lot of you guys, I'm pretty sure Central Dildo was one of them, maybe even New Bomb. I'm not sure who else were saying this is a distraction, which I didn't disagree with. But my point was that on some level, this is also a push for population. That there is, I've been saying that for a while, like there is a depopulation issue. And that's why, if you're wondering why there's so much a push for mass immigration, amongst the other nefarious reasons, you guys have brought some of the political reasons or potential voting reasons, which may or may not have backfired. But there is definitely a replacing us. Not a replacing us as necessarily active participants, even though it's obviously a part of it, but as we don't have enough peons to keep this thing running. We need to import more. That is something I definitely still think. And like I said, it goes along with the abortion. We don't. These peons are not replacing themselves at a high enough rate. We got to do something to help push that along. And these hoes is gonna be hoeing, so they can't flush all them kids. No, some of them ain't gonna get flushed, and some of them will grow up and they'll go into our military industrial complex or our prison industrial complex or multiples of these different complexes, rather as a participant or as a guard or whatever. Because what else are you going to do if you're born in some trailer park in Alabama or Louisiana or whatever? So there's definitely a push to artificially push up this population by hook or crook. By hook or crook. So what the hell's going on? I didn't bother with the fight, but was smart by new mom. 40% of Canada's first generation immigrants. The entire city blocks in London have an Arabic writing on the storefront. No way that'll backfire, right? So happy left for moving to the next stage of their mental illness. Denying sex they weren't getting before and shaving their heads. Yeah, I've seen some of those memes to Richard about to be like some 500-pound girl. So I'm not going to have sex anymore. It's like, okay. Roe v. Wade was always a bad law. No, I'm not saying it was or wasn't. My point is part of overturning it, because if it was always a bad law, they didn't overturn it 30 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Shaving off their heads, wearing all blue, swearing off sex. Yeah, a lot of that 4B and that weird shit is weird. Immigrants have lower birth rates. Yeah, I don't think it's going to work long term. I've said that too. I'm just telling you what I think they're doing. I'm just an asshole on the internet. I can get wrong or right on a lot of things. But yeah, the birth rate. There's something about the Western culture that just fucks up birth rates. People just don't stop having kids. No one read Roe v. Wade court papers. Why do I have the same what hat on? The same hat? Because this is a hat I'm wearing. Must all the bad takes an election them see as a one issue election was horrible. They still did they really? See, I don't know what motherfuckers. I didn't really pay attention to what the Dems. I don't really value them. I don't value. Listen, I don't value the conservative opinion. I definitely don't value the Democratic opinion. So I didn't pay attention. It does seem like they were really pushing that abortion issue hard. Because all you heard was women's rights and women. Like, y'all really thought the country was going to select somebody because of that? I get that a lot of people don't like Trump. Even though I feel like that what's it called, TDS is down. But a lot of people still don't like him. And I don't necessarily trust him. I don't trust anybody. I think he controlled opposite best personally. But if we're just talking about this binary choose between two parties, with the past 4 years, man, I don't know what you guys expected. You think people were frustrated with the way this economy's gone, bro? If it is a what issue election, it's the economy. It's not you hoes being hoes. Nobody cares. I don't care. Rather, what's going on with your reproductive rights. I mean, you got Plan B, an abortion. You got all this other shit. You got pulling out. You got choosing somebody who's suitable. You got all these other options to you. And meanwhile, motherfuckers are shitting on the street. And we got other important things. Life is more important than your pussy. You know what I'm saying? I just talked about how the population crisis is happening, but a lot of that's because of all this other shit, the economic crisis. I don't give a fuck, man. I really don't. I really don't give a fuck. The left had went too hard in this crazy direction. It was too late. No, it's some thirsty dudes, Tom Jensen, unfortunately. So no one wants to knock up a woke skull. Man, we in the incel generation. They're ready to they'll fuck a pig in the skirt. They'll let it. Last week before the election, it was women's rights to be taken away. I don't give a fuck. I hope they do take them away. Fuck them. Then again, nobody is married. What man wants to become a baby? Yeah, nobody wants to be a baby daddy. I don't want to be a baby daddy. I'm not gonna be no baby daddy. Roe v. Wade wasn't a major political issue to the left when to say. Trump point Kavanaugh. Left in the point. Okay, sure. Can't afford a kid. Yeah. As much as I couldn't 10, 20 years ago, nothing has changed much. Fair enough. Does Kamala have she is female, orange man, rich? Yeah. Buy one of the cheaper models. Fair enough. No, nobody wants to knock up a woke skull, but it definitely happens. It definitely will happen because, like I said, they'll fuck a pig in a skirt. South Asian or Ukrainian, maybe. Oh Lord, no. Well, you can buy. What was that site allegedly selling kids to? I think Wayfair. Did y'all hear about that shit? That was a conspiracy theory from a few years back. They had like a. They would have like a cabinet that was like $5,000 or some shit, and it would be like the Nathaniel cabinet, and there might be a dude, a missing kid named Nathaniel or some shit, and they alleged that they were selling the kids through Wayfair. I don't know if that shit was true. But it's just one of the things to say. I'm telling you, man, Trump didn't do it. Let the morons keep lying. I don't know what happened with the Roe. I barely care. My whole point was that wasn't my point. My whole point was just that because I don't even look at things on how the minutia of the politics happen. To me, it's just one big they. The left, the corporations, the right, they're all just they to me. And so when something happened, they just did this. You might be right. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm sure you're 100% correct, man. I'm sure you are. I'm just giving you my point of view. Trump will appoint a new SCOTUS judge that won't survive beyond next year. Abortion issues never. Yeah, both sides do make a lot of political money. Can't just tell you I follow this stuff. Fair enough. Fair enough. In the same way that I'm semi-following sports, and I used to follow the shit harder and then know all the stats. And there was basically the same equivalent. Oh, he's got this percentage and this quarterback rating. I'm like, I'm sure he does, man. I don't know what any of that means. So his type 1 diabetes, she's about to kick the bucket. Oh Jesus! So I don't know who I'll just judge. I don't follow politics like that. 2020 got everybody thinking they was a political expert because of all the bullshit that was going on, and unfortunately, I jumped in. Glad I jumped in, but I jumped into that shit. I don't know. I care because I care what's going to happen, but I mean, we're still going to be drinking high fructose corn syrup next year. We're still going to be underpaid. We're still going to be having the cost of goods higher than they need to be. People begging to step down in August. So, okay, that was going on. Midterm paper in business law. Insider trader at RBG. She hated Roe v. Wade like most of the court. There's no reason to remove it because the people didn't care. Fair enough. It's Cuban's last name. That's Cuban last name. Oh, Sotomayor. I don't even know who that is. I have no idea who the hell it is. Apparently they're a Supreme Court judge, given the context, but I think I may have seen that name, but like I don't know what this person looks like. I don't know what the politics are. I don't know. I just don't. I just don't. I wish. I don't know if I wish I did. It just it just is what it is. I'm not even knocking y'all. I hope it don't come off like that. I got nothing. So yes, I guess she's Obama approved. Okay, so I guess she's a left leaning judge based by the feedback. I guess we'll see what happens. That means shit. Trump can even have the Supreme Court. If he's who y'all want him to be, he would have at least a couple years of pretty much having everything. So we'll see. Listen, I want things to get better. I don't believe they will, but I'm a pessimist, so that doesn't mean I'm right. If shit gets better, I'm for it. You know what I mean? Shit gets better, man. The money shit has your boy stressed out, And yeah, so I want things to do. But hey, listeners, appreciate you being here. We're talking about Tyson. We're talking about politics, of course, because we always somehow, no matter what this shit comes up, the chat knows more than me what we're talking about. So I'm really close to the chat's going. I'm trying to figure out. But I appreciate you being here this Friday evening, Friday night, Friday morning, Sunday, Saturday morning. What the hell time is it? I'm looking for my iPad. I think it's actually the morning. Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. Congress will be interviewing and appointing a new judge before Jones. Yeah, it's probably not enough time. Not realistically, not at the end of the year. 1:05 a.m. There, you're in Zona, right? Sheesh. This election year, you know it's gonna be politics. No, unfortunately, we talked about it more than I would like last year. It's always but it's not that. It's more of this channel was built on it was built on politics and entertainment. That's what it was built on. So the people who are here, even people that still stick with me, which I appreciate all of you, you still going to have a little bit more political interest than the average bear. Hey, Michael Moody, I'm in East Texas, I guess. So it's probably 2:05 here. I can't look. I guess I could look. Hold on. Appreciate you being here, Mike. And on top of it, you're right, it is election year. But the election's over. And I'm glad for it to be over. I'm kind of done. Yep, 2:05. That's what it is. 2:04, Royce City, Texas. Shout out to Texas. I like it out here. I've been here now 2.5 years. I don't plan on moving for the next year and a half or whatever. I don't plan on moving until 2026. Or, if they'll have me, I'll renew my lease another year. Temple, Texas. Shout out to Temple. Yeah, what's going on in that? It's 9 a.m. there? Oh, man, it's early morning. Shout out to breakfast in Croatia. What is going on with Canada? Listeners, are you still here? All right, peace out, Fizz. We're still 8 uncontested leftist Texas judges. 8. You want Orange Man to turn the dark side, create his own government? Well, that's a lot of people's fears. So you are still here. Appreciate you being here, listeners. What's going on with y'all selection process? Y'all still got that? Hopefully some big booty Latinos don't show up. No, I'm trying to Google the Canadian election. No. What is this? And it's all obviously not easy for me to see. When is it? Oh, is it next year or is it this year? Listless OG. Yeah, peace out, Fizz. Appreciate you being here. Yeah, but when is it? I'm so lost. Don't know. Weird place the government shut down right now. Oh man. Cause I'm worried about our neighbors to the north. Trudeau has to go. You get comic streams on Wednesdays, fair enough. Read Absolute Batman. I do not. I'm not reading no comics right now. On a book, yeah, this is why I saw it sale on the books October 25th. Like it's past that. Government shut down, everything still works. Imagine that. Probably works better. You don't think he's going to make it that far? Trudeau has to go. He has to go, man. Unless you're just going to just end Canada. If you want to just stop it, I mean, can't nobody stop you. But he's really hurt that country something crazy. It's just hot as fuck all the time. It's not been hot here recently. Shit. It's been cold. You said Temple? No, I'm in the Houston area, the greater Houston area, as I say. Ruling party calls an election early if they think they'll win. That's weird. See, I don't understand. I don't understand Canada. I don't understand putting gravy on fries and calling them the poutine either. It's just a lot of I just don't understand about the people in the colder U.S. and colder North Michigan. He's got to go right now. What happened is the opposition shut down business because of the crime scandals. Oh Jesus. Yeah, I mean, you hear a lot of corruption scandals and shit going on with the Canadian. I was just talking about the sticky figures of the American government. I'm sure it's the same up there, or it looks to be. Ease off the poutine is great. I just don't understand. I'm not knocking it. I just don't understand your ways and your customs. I don't understand the North Michigan customs. So it's still kind of running. The government can't bring any business. They're just sitting there. I see. He already did the damage he was supposed to. How many people did he let in? Who knows? And Canada doesn't have a population like that. You know what I mean? It's a lot of space, but it's really just, what is it, 5 to 8 big cities and then their surrounding areas and then rural as fuck everywhere else. You know what I'm saying? So you bring in 10 million people to a country that only has 20 million people. You know what I mean? You fucking overrun it. Your father's side is still in Canada. The federal district court has to be raised. The administration raised 0 public leading judges. Okay. Canadian government's a bunch of pussies. Just let Trudeau ruin it all. They hate him. They don't do nothing to stop him. So for 8 federal district courts in Texas ran contested because there was no Republicans to run against them. Let's see. So most of the country is empty, legitimately. We can't take who's ever going to scatter you from your side while we're bleeding to death. It's worth it. Oh, okay. Batman Full Moon and Absolute Batman is up. I do see images from Absolute Batman, and I've seen that action figure. I kind of want to get it. I haven't read it. It's dope, man. I've been out of the comic game, reading a book monthly or weekly. There's comic shops around me though. If I got back into it. Yeah. About an hour and a half. See, these streams do a little bit better. I don't know if it's just the what you call it. Not a fan of Absolute Batman suit. I thought it's okay. I kind of like it. It kind of puts you a little bit of the symbol is like similar to the Dark Knight Rise or Dark Knight Returns. I mean, but it's way bigger, a little bit. Almost kind of puts your mind up. You guys remember? Not quite. I mean, it's not as extreme of and this was a comic and a cartoon back in the 90s. Was it the Max? I remember the MTV cartoon, a little in that vein. Trump Joe, are you going to pack the courts? Are you going to pack the courts? Joe No packs the courts. I see. See, there are 11 million undocumented. God damn. That's what I'm saying. Canada doesn't have the population you can smooth out 11 million motherfuckers, bro. It's 8 cities, like I said, whatever. I'm just tossing out the number. What you got? Toronto, Montreal, Ottawa, Calgary, Vancouver, whatever many that number is. And then you got the surrounding suburban areas and a few others that go off of those cities. I guess Winnipeg, if I missed them. That's it. You know what I mean? Those cities, the surrounding areas for those cities, and maybe some little cousin, sister cities in that area in about an hour range. You got those cities in about an hour outside of those cities. That's most of Canada. You put 10 million, 11 million motherfuckers, and you literally, that's nightmarish. That's nightmarish. You know what I mean? Canada can't, UK can't sustain that. America kind of can. I mean, even though we're flying off the tracks, we can sustain it better than Canada can. And even the UK can sustain it better than Canada can. I would like to see what Trump is going to actually do. I mean, we got to do something about the border. We'll see what happens. Well, Trudeau lives. Yeah, he doesn't have to live with him. He lives in the upper echelon of life. He's a 1% of the 1%er. Shit, I saw the thing where what's the guy Pierre who's running against him. He was just talking about how expensive the bathtub and all this shit is, and he got offended, thought he was making a gay joke. Trudeau bitch ass. He's like, no, we don't have $1 million, whatever the fuck it was, $100,000 bathtubs and shit. Longest invasion in human history, 4 years. Sheesh. I've been there years since before 9/11. It's been a while since I've been there. It's been well over a decade. Toronto in the late aughts was a decent place. Hey LDG, yeah, that Tyson fight. Going back to that, definitely think it was something funky here. How about 30,000? The sperm. That's a lot, man. I seen somebody, is it Venezuelan gangs that took over some of these apartment complexes? Yeah, he called himself off of the bathtub. I remember seeing that shit. It's like, damn, bro. How many Diddy parties did you go to? You got Diddy party PTSD to be what you call it, talking this shit. Pierre isn't great. I don't know neither of the contenders had ever had a real job. See, I don't know enough about I don't know about your mystical land to the north. He needs to not be running this place. Yeah, he can't run that country anymore. Tucson isn't any better. Way close to the border. All kinds of shady shit going on here with illegals. Doing that in Ireland too. Move 300 illegals. That's crazy work. That's crazy work. Well, I mean, this ain't accidental. This ain't accidental. This isn't happenstantial. They are definitely. There's a multitude of reasons why, but they are definitely pushing mass immigration across the West. So yeah, I don't even know what to say. Ireland has doubled its population in 2 years. Wild work. You don't get a ton of immigrants, but some. Colorado, Venezuelan gangs took over a handful of apartment complexes. Wow. Crazy work. 4 to 8 million. That's crazy. Crazy work. Crazy work. Golly, I thought our immigration problem was nuts. See, that's what I was talking about with Canada. He already did it with Ireland. God damn. God damn, that's crazy work. The West this is a self-deletion. This is seppuku. Because the parties that be, the powers that be, are all Western powers doing this. He said, move over and take it over. We might have to. That might be what long-term happens. I mean, we already have this quote-unquote passport bro phenomenon, which isn't new. But there's a lot of bullshit with it. A lot of it is about tricking. But on some level, it's about people trying to leave the West. If the West the West is already in a bad place, a lot of these people, I mean, people already right now want to travel to Colombia and some of these other places that, people from the West actually do go to some of these places. So long term, that might be what fucking happens. You know what I mean? Where they push so many immigrants in some of these areas, especially talking about what they did doing in Europe and Ireland. Good Lord, I didn't know it was that crazy. But people might say, you know what, I'm going to go to maybe not those specific same countries directly, but certain regions of the world may get a lot more Westerners there. You know what I mean? It seems like a lot of places, a lot of people going to Southeast Asia. People do go to South America as well. I mentioned Colombia, Brazil. Those are places that people go to. So I don't know, not necessarily country for country, but regionally, yeah, that might be what happens. You know what I'm saying? Where a lot of Westerners end up going to other countries. Shit, I work with a lot of Mexican people, and they talk about retiring. I'm trying to use my mouse. Can't use my mouse. Can't scroll up. They talk about going to Mexico and retiring. You know what I mean? Taking once they retire, they can live in Mexico for a lot cheaper, and that's the plan. So on some level, like I said, there's going to be some of this. It won't be happening in a mass. Obviously, you'll need a little bit of money to do it, but it definitely will be some on some level a thing. All right, West. Yeah, I told you that was going to happen since you did it because they was already talking about Croatia. A lot of the West stores in England, France, Germany, probably Ireland too. They moving to Croatia. They're moving into a lot of quote unquote Balkan areas and just Eastern Europe in general. So yeah, you see, even listeners talking about obviously not Croatian, but how hard is it to learn Lithuanian anyway? Yeah. So I remember seeing this, and I think I did tell you like you said it was coming, they were already there, but I'm telling you like it's about to get crazy. You're gonna see a lot of blokes out in Croatia pretty soon, and so it's gonna get even crazy. You just gonna talk about that? So yeah, it's it started off with the need a roommate, I'll pay rent. What you mean, you? Shit, that's what I'm saying. Croatia don't look half bad right now. Mexican government is pissed about illegals piling up. You know what the Mexican people are pissed about? Having annoying white Karens moving in, buying up the land. Tens of thousands of Karens. Yeah, it's what's going to happen. If you're talking about certain states, if you talk about California and Mexico and Texas and Mexico, yeah, there will be probably a decent exchange of a lot of Karens going back. Y'all keep sending us y'all games. We're going to keep sending you our Karens. They're going to have Starbucks in Mexico City if they don't got them already. You see it's already happening? Yeah, like I said, that's the move my coworkers are talking about doing. Is moving back to Mexico. So I mean, I already know that's what's going to happen. It's already happening, and so that's something that's definitely going to keep going on. And and that's probably going to get worse. Or I don't know if worse is the right word, but just more of it. You will definitely see a lot of people going to Mexico. It's going to be as many people crossing the border over here. It's going to be trying to cross the bitch back. So no one can say shit to you. So you gotta go to Lithuania. That's what's up. Taking Mexican jobs and land. We eat the dogs and the cats too. Fuck it. We going down there with our Karens. We eat the dogs and the cats. Fuck it. Why not? That's what's happening to us. Y'all gonna have to deal with it too. They already got Starbucks. I figured Mexico City is big enough to have some Starbucks. Families are from Europe. They're from Ireland. Fair enough. Shout out to Ireland. Going to South Africa. No, I'm going to Ireland. Shit, apparently. I'm more Irish than those immigrants. South Africa, Haiti. No, you know what? I would visit and even long-term live. If I could make enough money, I would love to travel. I would love to live in Brazil for a year, live in Japan for a year, live in a lot of different places. If I had it like that. But I'm gonna just retire here, man. I don't know, I mean, I don't know. I'm not saying if I could find a place that I could live cheap enough. I actually fear that by the time it's time for me to retire, if by any miracle I'm even able to retire, because that's its own can of worms, but I'll be better off staying here because any place that is a good place to move, we will have already fucked up. We will have already fucked up and blown, and I'm probably better off staying here and just getting a home and paying it off. Talking about the Taylor Serrano was a hell of a fight, way better than the main event. Open a dirt cookie store in Haiti. No. Live in Ireland tomorrow. The entire island being flooded with illegals. So we'll go for a race money. Except I'm looking for a big booty Latina. But Serrano and Taylor, they're good fighters. They had a good fight before this. I didn't see that fight, but they had a really good fight like a year and a half ago, whatever it was. It was a really good fight, honestly. And see, that's one of the positives about this these farce fights is they do get a lot of fighters who maybe if you never heard of Katie Taylor, if you had never, and I'm sure a lot of y'all probably never heard of Katie Taylor or Amanda Serrano, and now you get to see them because of Jake Paul and Tyson. That's the positive. You know what I mean? Y'all didn't even know they've been at this shit. They've been scrapping for years, and they can scrap. You know what I'm saying? And y'all didn't know who they were, but y'all got to see them because of this. That's the positive. To Kurt, buddy, you got a good friend that Kamala. I don't want that one. No, she can stay. No, I'm good with her. Bad decision. She said Serrano landed 100 more punches. Wow. Only in the Spice Buddy. I do, you know, I did fall in love with an Indian girl, so I ain't gonna say nothing about that. But it wasn't Kamala. It was not Kamala Harris. I saw some golden for Kamala Harris, though. That was wild work. Told you, motherfuckers is down bad, bro. This generation of men are down bad. That's the thing. That's where a lot of people was. Says as much of a pompous Jack Wag and Jake Paul is, they put a lot of eyes back on boxing. Yeah. That's the one positive. Out of all this bullshit, as much as I think it's rigged and all this, that's the positive. I hate to put it, I keep saying Turkey Al-Sheikh. He's the guy from Saudi Arabia putting together a lot of big boxing matches, real boxing matches. It's up to him to really kind of save boxing from itself because boxing for years, just these, you can only say post Mayweather effect, but it really wasn't Mayweather because you look, so wait. As much as Mayweather was selective and he should have fought Pacquiao 5 years earlier, all this other shit, he still would fight competent championship level and contender level fighters. These guys are literally fighting Uber drivers, bro. That's why Jake Paul was able to do this. These real fighters were fighting Uber drivers. I'm not joking or exaggerating. And they would fight Uber drivers, and then when it's time to fight a real fighter, they bullshit, and they wait till they both old, then they do it. And you can't just keep doing that. You can't sustain the sport like that. So a lot of people fell off of boxing. Jake Paul brought some eyes back to it. Turk Al-Sheikh is doing more, getting more of these fighters in with each other, especially at least the Brit. One thing he is doing, I can't say it necessarily for America, but a lot of the British fighters, especially the heavyweight division in particular, he's got that bitch moving. He's respectful to Iron Mike Long. Turk what? The will lot was long as fuck. It's Turkey Al-Sheikh. I don't know how to pronounce or spell that, though. Seeing a lot of Kamala going, yeah, it was wild work. More eyeballs mean more money, which does mean even more politicking and bullshit. Politics and bullshit. But in any event, I am going to get out of here. I don't know how I did 2 hours with this mask. I hate to leave 11 people hanging as 11 likes. If you haven't liked, please like. But we hitting the 2-hour mark, and I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. So it's been a cool stream. I need to stream more. Like I said, I've been focused on music. I appreciate this. He says Judge Mike Ross needs to go. Welcome to boxing, bro. It's a lot of bullshit, Judge. That's the thing. When these eyes come back to boxing, you got to see how corrupt and jank this fucking sport is. That's the problem. And we've been, unfortunately, boxing fans get used to how jank the sport is, and then other motherfuckers like, what the fuck? And we're like, oh yeah, it's just another robbery. The judges lie all the time. What? How can that judge have this score? It's completely wrong. Oh yeah, it's Tuesday. When it's Friday. That's just how boxing works. Judges just do whatever the fuck they want. The fight happens. Judges put down whatever the fuck they want, and we live with it. In any event, it can be white, black, women, men. It doesn't matter. The judges just do whatever they want, and that's just the way it is. So in any event, all this rant, we got 12 likes. I'll take it. If you do like the video, you can like the video if you're so obliged to share and subscribe. Please do that. Do that. And even if you do none of these things, thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. Good night. God bless. I'll talk to you all later. Take off this fucking mask. Well, I shouldn't do this peace. I think it's like a thing. All right. Peace. I think it's like the pad sign. And I'm not. Fuck pad. Believe in Jesus.